Ha! Today I'm going to talk to you about how I finessed a 40% raise in the pandemic. Don't go anywhere. Watch until the end. Professor Meatball is here for you, and my name is Andrew. Let's get to it. I want to break this video down into three sections. One, I want to talk about the impetus. I want to talk about why we are talking about this video at all. Why in your 20s should you be searching for that 30 to 40% gain in your income? And why it should be constantly on your mind how your workplace treats you as if you owe them something all the time. And you might not even realize it. The second part of this video is going to be about execution. I'm going to talk about the steps that I took, concrete steps that I put my application out there. I fumbled my way through the interview process, and then I lined up my offers neatly against each other. And third, I want to talk about how I got through the mess of my 20s. Would I regret doing this way if the economy is different, if the world climate was different, and if I would do it differently if I had the chance to do it all over again? Stick to the end because I'm not sure if you know, but this is part of a 30-day challenge, so I'm really trying to drive retention and click-through rates. So thank you for clicking on this video, and now it's time for the retention part. A 40% raise on an already six-figure salary, you do the math, that is a huge bonus. How exactly is it possible that we are talking about pre-pandemic times, people are paying for professionals, data scientists, or software engineers at a certain level, and then after and during the pandemic, people are getting job offers still? This is probably going to be a shocking video. That's why I'm wearing camouflage, Andrew. You can't really see me. I'm just a floating head from the bottom up. And you're probably asking, why is that? Why can't I see his body at all? And why do I have the urge to smash the like button? Because I like this video and I want to hit that subscribe button. If I'm new here, I don't think I started recording. No, I did. Awesome. What is flossing, not the TikTok sensation, but just the menial task of doing this action twice a day, maybe 3 times a day, if you're really into that kind of stuff, have to do with making incremental increases in your self-evaluation, your self-valuation, and your actual take-home pay. I'm going to make this video incredibly easy to digest in a piece-by-piecemeal fashion. We're going to talk about habits, we're going to talk about hacking your growth, and we're going to talk about claiming what is yours. We're not going to talk about the old fogey way of doing it, which is work really hard and die one day unhappy and tired at the world. No, we're going to do it with fun hacks that is going to get you a lot of value out of a small package. The first tip, and this is going to be really important for you to remember, is that you are not part of your job's family. Your job and your family, not the same thing. This is really part of this neo-capitalist society that is trying to ingratiate you in a larger ethos of living with your family job. Oh, I can't tell which one's which, and now I feel like I owe my coworkers and my boss something. You don't owe them anything. This is what's really keeping the current day worker in their invisible cage. Wisecrack, another YouTube channel, really big one, they do an incredible series about why The Office actually talks a lot about neo-capitalism and what Michael Scott has to do with the current workday culture. Originally, around the turn of the Industrial Revolution, workers didn't really want to go to work and do their best. They wanted to lie around and, live off the land. Remember when you, in the 60s and 70s, can really buy a house before the housing inflation continues to rise? I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but the main point is that worker culture has changed. Vagrancy laws in England made sure that workers were not able to turn away a bad-paying job that didn't treat you well. Nowadays, we don't have that same culture. We don't have the go to work or else you go to jail. You have the go to work happy, work hard, or else you're not really doing the best you than you can be. Somehow negative reinforcement, loss aversion really ends up being more powerful than negative punishment. Having people conform to this idea that workplace culture and work-life balance and being able to be happy and go lucky and plucky at the workplace ends up really hurting your ability to go out and find another job. I cover why asking for a raise ends up hurting your net worth, but it ends up being a psychological effect overall. You are considering your one-time signing bonus as not part of your annual base salary. I mean, it's not part of the base salary, so why should I consider it? That means that you are foregoing a extraneous award. So no harm, no foul. It was extraneous to begin with. But if you actually consider it as endowed to you, as something that you are giving up by not switching to a new job after your 1-year bonus vests, then actually you end up losing. And losses are way worse than costs. To prove it to you, give me 60 seconds to go through this hypothetical situation. A woman wants to go to the opera and she opens her purse at the theater and realizes the tickets that she bought, $200 tickets, are not there. Someone must have taken them out of her purse. Does she buy new tickets? Second situation, the same woman goes to the opera, she loves to go to operas, and it turns out that the $200 that she was going to spend on tickets is missing from her purse. Well, does she use her credit card instead? In your mind, you had two different mental accounts for theater-going pleasure and just her net worth as a human being. By making different accounts, you were probably more acquiescent to the second situation of her charging her credit card. After all, she is just a little less wealthy. That's okay. It's not like she made a sunk cost. Sunk costs. Without belaboring the point and ruining my retention, sunk cost fallacies end up costing you money, and the same inverse fallacy can be true by not considering one-time bonuses as actual endowed money that should be paid year after year. If your one-time bonus was a 20% signing bonus, then you are 20% less wealthy the next year. That's just basic income math. So now we have the impetus for this entire video. Why do you go out in your 20s and try to find better opportunities? Well, it's because your one-time signing bonuses should be considered as endowed to you as part of your total income packages that dwindles after the year or two that it vests. Like I said, the second part of this video is going to be about execution, and I'm going to tell you how I sat down, started full-time applying my application out to hundreds of different channels, and how it eventually ended up in 3 different offers I was able to leverage against each other. The first step of this execution is sitting down with a vision board in mind. This usually involves you outlining, maybe just for 20 minutes a day, sitting down and thinking about exactly how your end goal has changed given the context and the research that you have been able to contribute to shaping that vision. Having the end in mind and reverse engineering what that looks like will help a lot, because ultimately this is something that a lot of 10-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, even old fogies are missing. Vision. They're missing what their mission is. And the mission is trying to get employed with that extra boost in your compensation. All in all, it took me 8 weeks to get the offer and then 10 weeks to actually get started working. I woke up, I walked the distance from my bed to the desk, about 20 to 30 feet. This was before it was cool and everyone was already bunkering down in the pandemic. I looked at my vision board, I saw exactly what my current day contributions is going to contribute to that vision board, and then I started to apply. I made sure that I was diligent in researching which positions are opening up just now. I looked for positions that were opening up in the past few weeks, and I looked through AngelList, LinkedIn, and Glassdoor. I was meticulous in understanding that you needed both quantity and quality, a T-shape, if you will, to be able to break through the algorithm of the hiring process. It's at this point that my camera's running out of battery, so now I have to leave you until part 2. At this rate, we're about 3 to 4 weeks in, and now I'm starting to get technical rounds. If you want to be able to pass your technical portion, I really recommend going down and checking out a couple of the links below that help a lot. And each of the videos that I've created have a trivia question in them that help you with the technical portions and the logical portions of each of these technical interviews. Today's trivia question is going to be a hard one. It's going to be about outliers. We know that you can define an outlier with IQR, interquartile range. But are there any models that can help us detect outliers? Or perhaps be a little creative. What are some custom ways that you can detect an outlier in a data set? Put your answer down below. I'm going to collect a couple of the correct answers and then jumble them up. And then when a raffle comes, I'm going to select a winner and give them a free consultation, data science or personal finance or whatever that they're into. As always, if this video was the one that you're looking for, if it made you laugh, if it made you cry, go ahead and smash that like button down below and hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the best data science, personal finance, and hacking your growth education possible. As always, for now but not for forever, I will see you guys next time for part 2. Peace.
You're like,